Crick Buzz centre stage. Adam Collins, Harsha Bogle here at the Oval on the eve of one of the biggest games in the tournament. Whenever Australia play India, it's a blockbuster, Harsha, and tomorrow will be no different.
Why is it big? It's just Australia, isn't it? Nah, it's a big game. I just love your energy-filled intro. But it's true. It's a huge game. I think at the start of the World Cup, I thought there are 4 or 5 games that you don't want to miss. I thought India-England was one of those. From an Indian point of view, India-England, India-Australia, India-Pakistan are the 3 games you don't want to miss. But also Australia-England. So there are 5 or 6 big games, and we're all set for one of the biggest of them all. 2018 nightmare for Australia. Remember, we were doing all those all those programs together there, and now Australia with 10 wins on the trot are looking different. I knew they're going to look a bit different once Warner, Smith and Stark came back.
Yeah, Warner, Smith, Stark, Cummins as well. Annus Horribilis, you could argue, 2018 was for Australia. They have bounced back 10 wins in a row. Perhaps the most impressive of those 10 was a couple of days ago when we were at Trent Bridge beating the West Indies. They beat them ugly. They found a way to get over the line on a day where they didn't perform, which fuels them with enormous confidence.
It's interesting you say that about winning ugly, because the entire focus was on the fact that West Indies lost it. And sometimes you can focus too much on a side that doesn't know how to win it. But what about the side that does know how to win it? And I think one of the great things with Australia and the way they play their cricket and the toughness with which they've been brought up and the way they play their cricket is in tough situations, you tend to back Australia. And I think West Indies were just a touch fragile. So yes, we focused on how West Indies lost it, but yes, Australia winning it was good. I thought the biggest plus for them in that game was Mitch Stark.
Mitchell Stark taking 4 for 2 in one spell at the end, and he targeted the stumps. We reflected on it then, but we've seen Stark be a fraction volatile in the last couple of years. Some senior players have called for his head, who used to play for Australia, but he's a very determined man.
I've done commentary with him a few times. I told Warnie once, I said, Warnie, Stark's looking a bit flat. Do you want to have a go at him? Do you want to say he shouldn't be around because nothing spurs him more than you having a go at him? And I think Alyssa Healy might have reacted to that well.
On social media,
yeah. But yes, I think to me, if you play out Stark, Cummins, Goulden, look, Indians come and the sun comes up.
Gorgeous.
If you play out that, then I think Australia's middle overs are a place you can score runs.
As important as Stark is, there's a couple of very tasty personal clashes. There's Cummins and Kohli. Let's put that to one side. We know they'll be fantastic, but let's not dwell too much on that. Let's look at Bumrah versus Finch. As Finch said himself, every time they came up against each other last Australian summer and in the one days in India, Finch had no way to get out of jail. It's going to be massive.
It is, especially because that ball coming in, Bumrah just was bowling that on demand, and then he started straightening out, getting him caught at slip. I actually think the juicier contest could well be Bumrah to Warner. Because I think the return of Warner is going to be such a big part of Australia's fortunes at this World Cup. And Bumrah is just India's #1 bowler by some distance. So I'd love to see how that contest goes as well. Bumrah to Warner.
Instructively, Rohit Sharma in his pre-game press conference made the point that they're willing to unleash a bouncer barrage against Usman Khawaja. If they think that the conditions suit, they'll have a crack at it as well, which might open a door to Shami potentially in their final 11.
In any case, I think Shami should play. Now, I don't know how that oval track's going to play. Traditionally, the oval has afforded a bit of seam, but a lot of bounce and pace. Who do they play him for? Do they leave out Bhuvneshwar or do they leave out Kuldeep Yadav? Saying Australia have seen such a lot of him recently that maybe we'll leave out Kuldeep Yadav, play Shami, play three seamers plus Pandya and just have Chahal as a spinner. So we'll have to wait and see. But I really do believe Shami must play because he gives you the wicket-taking option in the middle overs that we talk about all the time with respect to the spinners.
Harsha, I mentioned the confidence of Aaron Finch. That extended to his reflections on Stephen Smith, the former captain. He made the comment, and watch out Aaron Finch's Twitter mentions. He said that Stephen Smith is the best batsman in the world. Response?
I mean, it's his point of view, isn't it? It's his point of view. He's entitled to his point of view. I think Adam Collins is the worst presenter in the world. It's just my point of view. So I don't think we should.
Thanks, Harsha.
I don't think we should worry too much about that. But he's clearly talking up Steve Smith, and I think we talked about Stark, but the fact that Smith batted all those 90, 100 deliveries that he was 70 odd deliveries, whatever. 90, 100 deliveries. He was the glue for that Australian side. I think that will stand him in really good stead. When Smith comes back into form and becomes the player that he was before the ban, I will agree with Finch, but I will agree with a caveat and say when Kohli is out of form.
This ground tomorrow, it's actually been a blotchy ground for both countries. India, last time they were here, Kohli made a golden duck. You might recall in that last Test match.
Gee, you're being very Aussie suddenly.
I just remember that well. I remember us both sitting over there when it happened. But it was also where they lost the 2017 Champions Trophy final. Not that that means a single thing. Anyone that tells you otherwise is kidding it. But it's going to be a wonderful atmosphere. It'll be 80%, 90% Indian fans. It'll be a home game for them tomorrow.
Yeah, I had said before the World Cup started, if India can win 3 of their first 4 matches, then they've got a foot and a half into the semi-final. If they can win this, it'll be so big for India, because the confidence that comes with beating South Africa, Australia in your first couple of matches goes into New Zealand and then into Pakistan. If you can then win one of those 2, then you're laughing. So it's a huge game, and he's not a bad presenter.
Which side will get the perfect start? We'll find out tomorrow. We'll hear, of course, the great Harsha Bogle and this bloke Adam Collins on
right.
Crick Plus Centre Stage after the game. Thanks for your company. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
Pleasure.